This is Dave Johnson, and I'm here with the lovely Lena Rodriguez. Today we're going to channel and do some tarot cards about the subject of how we can help ourselves right now. How can we help each other and help ourselves during this very stressful time? How can we not make this so acute that we can't really function, right?
Mm-hmm. And I know from your comments, thank you, viewers, wonderful comments, and I'm sure Dave
Great comments.
is in a similar situation. So you're people who really, really do care about what is going on now, and it is an assault on the senses, and it is terrifying at times, what is happening out there. And so we're going to just share our stories, if you like, in a way, and Dave's going to channel for us just little extra tips to remind ourselves how to be kind to ourselves and each other with this really full-on time that we're in.
Really intense.
But it's also important to remember, I think it is a major time in history.
It is.
We are witnessing history.
Yes.
Don't you feel that very strongly?
And very quickly we're witnessing history.
Yeah.
It changes on a moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Very intertwined as well.
Exactly. So there is marvelous energy out there as well as this wave of horrific stuff. So it's really important to remember the positive. And so I'm just going to ask Dave now. So, Dave, what are you picking up? Some specific advice for us how to help ourselves and each other.
Okay, I'm getting a very interesting image of a gigantic piano. And to me, the message is, don't worry, there are many keys on this piano. Although we're being fed stories after stories that are stressful upon stressful upon stressful, there are many, many stories out there. It's not only this that is happening in the world. There are people doing good things. There are people doing good things as a result, even of this difficult time. I can mention just for us, Lena and I may never have met were it not for our mutual hatred of the Trump administration. And let's see, I'm just getting, there are many people coming together in this way. So there's not much bright side to the Trump administration. But one bright side is that people are coming together, people are having an effect, at least on each other. I see a circle of people, which is first 4, then 8, then 10. It's getting bigger and bigger.
That's nice.
And we're really expanding. People are connecting to people they never would have connected before, and they are working together towards something. And the other image that I have is justice. I see this sort of justice, and I feel very much that people are coming together and really wielding that sort of justice. That people are really being asked now what their priorities are, and they're stepping up. They really are stepping up. Think of the heroic people that we're seeing right now defending our Constitution. Those people are taking great risks and really making a great difference. So take a little bit of heart that some good things are happening actually as a result of a negative situation. Let's see, what else does he have to tell us? The people are taking their power back. So I see a crown, and the crown is being passed to us, to these people. All these powerful people have been working in the dark for some time, and most Americans are going along their way because they don't have time to pay attention to this. This is a time now when we are being compelled to notice, and we are being compelled to act in justice. So that's number 2. Also, when you're watching unkindness, you're watching the cruelty of this administration, the things that they do. You might also notice the opposite, the kindness. Abraham Hicks always talks about contrast. You also might notice the kindness that people are doing with each other in reaction to what is going on. People are opening their eyes and considering, what is it like for my brother down the street who happens to be a different color than me or a different religion than me? We actually both believe in the same thing, and that is that we treat each other decently. There's number 2. And I also get that Lena and I are another example of this, is bringing our spiritual powers forward, right? Notice that we're actually changing our consciousness right now. I think at this time, it's very, very, very present to me that consciousness is being changed, and people are making a decision whether they will stick with the old consciousness or stick with the new. Take heart. All of these things are very important for our growth, for our learning. I believe that things will be okay. I'm being shown that this movement forward, this creative force that is not just America but the world, is going to move along just fine. This is a bump along the way. It may seem like this is everything, but this is just a drop in the history of an ocean of histories. So remember that there is a future. The future is looking better than the present. Maybe not the near future, but in the near future, don't forget the connections that are being made right now and how important they are. Don't forget the connection between the person next to you and yourself, between children and yourself. These are the connections that really matter. And the fact that Trump does not care about these shows their importance. It shows what we are not.
Yes, that's an excellent summary there. And I just drew 2 cards while Dave was channeling, and I had some thoughts on those too. So the first card is judgment, and when I get this in the typical political readings, it's judgment on Trump and his allies and his family, and judgment. But we're talking about the other side now. We're talking about us. So we are being judged too on a coming level about how much we care, about how much we can do, and not allow the paralysis. That's the word I keep getting people, because it's so full on. You can feel paralyzed. What can I do as one person? And it's really important. The next card was the Chariot, was to find some way to move forward. Now, my regular viewers will know, but I often say this, find some way to contribute, whether that's enrolling people to vote or driving people to the actual election station or whatever, whether it's on the streets, whether it's part of a campaign. But America and the world, do not feel you're alone, America. The world is being judged in this time now. These same issues are being fought out in Hungary and Italy and Taiwan and Argentina. These are global issues. And we've got to remember too, if Trump hadn't come along, it would have been more of the same in terms of corporations running the show. They would have still wound back probably a lot of the environmental protections, because corporations like to be able to pollute rivers and oceans. It's part of what they do for a living. And so the horror of Trump has meant young people are going to vote. Half the population didn't bother voting before, right?
Yep.
And now young people are going to be motivated who would not. If
I
Trump
think
hadn't
everybody's
been there,
going to be motivated now that it really is affecting
in
us.
a way, I could go as far as to say we should thank him.
In a way, in a strange way.
In a strange, delayed fashion.
To demonstrating what we do not want.
Yeah.
Right?
He epitomizes the worst of human beings, the worst of sexism, the worst of racism, the worst of corporate and personal greed, of pointlessness. Someone taking up oxygen only long enough to stuff money in his own underpants. Okay.
Right.
Is there anything more shallow than Trump? I can't think of it right to me. So he epitomizes where we as a society, generally Western society, have allowed ourselves to be off into a celebrity culture. He only got in because he was a B-grade celebrity. Please. Let's look at things that have slightly deeper values, people. So we're here today and we wanted to just share our ideas of remembering some of the basics, because it is overwhelming.
Yes,
We are not batting this away
Yes.
and going, just suck up concrete and be brave. It's not that.
Not
It's
that.
very confronting.
Yeah,
It's very
yes.
personal. It hits home.
Mhm.
So we want to just share that with you guys, and hopefully you look after each
and
other.
Lena and I feel both very strongly that ours is a message of hope. Ours is a message of coming together. Ours is a message of a changing consciousness as our friendship has become a new consciousness in reaction to Trump. So yours, and sort of the last message that I'm getting is that connection between people. If you're watching TV all day long and you're feeling more and more powerless and more stressed, realize that you are not. That is what you are seeing on TV, that's what you're being told, and that's what you're being fed. But if you really feel this way, think about how you treat the person next to you.
Yeah.
Think about how Trump would treat them and how you would not treat them in that same way. Spend a moment feeling powerful by being kind to another person or helping them. Spend a moment, caring about another person that isn't you and that isn't in your situation but in another. Isn't that wonderful that when the children were really in trouble, so many people came forward, so many people cared.
And it did change
and it
the
made
outcome.
a difference.
It
really
changed
made a difference.
the outcome.
Those kids are reunited with their moms and dads today because of what you, the viewers, did. Right? That's not nothing. It matters to somebody. Somebody you never met. Somebody who you never would have met in any other situation.
And I think amazing connections are being made.
I do. I agree.
Not the least of all in the communications on our channels.
Right.
I think we're very blessed, both of us, to have
we're so lucky.
amazing viewership and a lot of it overlaps. So thank you guys, because you help us stay sane. You help us stay strong. Right. So that's how it's working.
Yeah, we do this because we feel like we're actually doing something. We're helping, and hopefully changing the world as a better place. We're no different from you. Right? You can do that too, if only just to make a friend.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you
viewers.
for watching.
Thanks for watching.
You take care.